Hey everyone, Cool Kid here, and welcome to Accolade Acquisitions, a series that I'm doing as a supplemental piece to talk about getting each of the Accolade glyphs against the H-09 Apex tank. For our final episode of this series, we're going to be talking about Cyte-09, and he's the last episode for two reasons. The first reason, and honestly the main one, is that I just wanted to do the frames in release order, but the second reason is that I think he's probably the most difficult. If not, Excalibur might be a little bit harder depending, but I think that he's in a pretty tough bind with this fight. So, Cyte is really good in Phase 1, and it's almost like an opposite of Nyx kind of situation in that regard, where Phase 2, he just has nothing to work with, he's just floundering, but in Phase 1, he is pretty much untouchable. Because Phase 2 is so much longer than Phase 1 though, I think he's worse off for that dynamic than Nyx was. So, to talk about the build, you're going to notice a lot. I have many things built into not dying, right? We've got the catalyzing shield setup, arcane nullifier, and even PSF, which is the only time I hope I ever use this in this series. And yeah, Cyte evaporates if he gets so much as a stern look from enemies. So I'm trying to invest very heavily in not dying, because it's the number one hurdle for this guy, is he is so prone to dying. Beyond that, I've got a lot of duration to make evade easier to work with, because obviously I'm not going to be able to farm headshot kills super easily in this fight. Like, yeah, I can during certain points, but it's best to really maximize the upfront duration. And then I've got a prime flow to keep a bank of energy, and some strength as well for like the weak point modifier and things like that. We're going to mostly be using Seek in order to boost our weak point damage, and Evade whenever it's off cooldown. Evade is a tricky ability because in the first phase it works great. In the second phase, the heat-seeking projectiles and the miasmites can still see you, so they'll still attack you, which is really, really annoying. Neutralizer actually can be very good in this fight, both for the weak points in the first phase, as well as for like clearing out enemies during Benefit Gig, but I have really low range, so I don't think I'll get a ton of mileage out of it. And funnily enough, Resupply is super good if you're not using an Incarnin, but I am, so it's only really useful if my Incarnin form is down for any reason. And then also Worthy Camaraderie. I think it's just kind of like the classic Cyte-09 aura choice, and it's good for Phase 1. My shards are Tau Force Strength and Max Corrosive stacks. That's just what I normally use. It's not super relevant for this. So, for the Burst On, it's the same one we've been running throughout this series. We've got our critical stats, our base damage sources, multi-shot, and then viral and heat. The viral is here to allow us to prime the tank in the first phase with our damage weapon. Because Vastalok is our utility weapon, having to be grounded to shoot the tank is just super annoying. The heat is here for Lex, which I'll explain in a minute. And then in terms of perks, we've got Forceful Finality, Ready Retaliation, and Absolute Valor. The Lex Prime is our main damage weapon for Phase 2. We've got our base damage sources, multi-shot, crit stats, and then Magnetic and Gas, because those are both things that the tank is weak to in its second phase. So Cascadia Flare is really useful in this fight, because even though the tank is status immune in both phases, for whatever reason, if a hit would have procced a heat status effect, despite being blocked, it will still contribute to Cascadia Flare, so you can still just mag dump your Burst On into the tank and rapidly build stacks for it, which is super helpful. Oh, and yeah, the perks are Hoplite Virtue, Ready Retaliation, and Critical Parallel. Vastalok is our utility weapon. It's going to have a bunch of attack speed and Shattering Impact for armor stripping, Heat just to help maintain Cascadia Flare, and Kareen, which is gonna be one of our only ways to contend with miasmites on Cyte. He really has nothing in his kit that's good for stopping them, other than maybe his neutralizer alt fire. So, for our Sentinel, this is gonna be important again after the Nyx and Trinity episodes. The main things that we're working with are Negate, Reinforced Bond, Primed Regen, Guardian, and then the combo of Manifold Bond and Coolant Leak, because Coolant Leak can spread status effects with Manifold Bond. Tazakor has Heat to help maintain Cascadia Flare, and Radiation so that miasmites will either kill themselves, kill each other, or die to the boss. Tesicore's Chain Lightning makes this really easy to just kind of have going if enemies are near you. The radiation is going to be very helpful for Cyte as well. So, this is the moment we're breaking the oath. This entire time, up until now, I have swore that I would not use Vazarin, but for Cyte, I'm gonna break that oath. I already have a shit ton of investment into survivability, I know, but when everything in the boss's, like, second phase can target you through your invisibility, you just have to spam, like, as many methods of surviving as possible. It's a lot of redundancy, it's probably not necessary for most people, but trust me when I say that you will get your ass beat on Cyte at least a few times for the most part. Maybe you're a god gamer and you get it on your first try, I don't know. It took me several tries when I was first getting the Accolade glyphs. So yeah, that's the rundown for the strat. I'll see you in the boss fight. Okay, yeah, there we go. That should be good. Ideally, if I'm quick, this should get me through pretty much the entire first phase. Like I said, in Phase 1, invisibility is super, super strong. I believe enemies can still hear you, so they'll still try and, like, rotate towards you if you're not using Hush or something. But yeah, like, the tank is just, like, kind of lobotomized. He's, I'm actually not, he's just, dude, I think he might be drunk driving. Why did he just, like, reverse into a phone booth? Anyways, yeah, in Phase 1, this is just super free. Just blitz through all of his weak spots. Yeah, that took me, like, what, 40 seconds? Not too bad. So, yeah, like I said earlier, Cyte-09 is basically, like, the opposite of Nyx, where Nyx is super good in Phase 2, but doesn't have a ton in Phase 1. Cyte is the opposite, and that was a really fast Phase 1. It took me less than a minute. The problem is, I don't think Phase 1 is the scary phase in comparison to Phase 2, at least if you're good at being fast. So, now, yeah, we have to deal with this, and Cyte is just not super cut out for it. You'll see why. Honestly, I expect this to take me multiple tries. As of recording this, currently, this is my first try while under a camera. Because typically when I film the Accolade acquisitions videos, I do a bunch of testing and stuff with each frame first. Because I did get all the Accolade glyphs, like, back on release, but that was a long time ago. So I like to, you know, go and kind of relitigate things, right? Like, okay, who's good for what, what's good on who, that kind of deal. And it's also a good opportunity to kind of evaluate what strategies I could show off. But then I hit record, and I go from doing perfectly fine to dying on my Excalibur run twice in a row. So that was cool. Obviously, you know, people didn't see that. That's not what actually ended up in the video, but that did happen. Okay. Like I said, I can leverage the invisibility somewhat, but when the tank starts, like, shooting pyrotechnics missiles or spawning miasmites, you are just fucked. Now, fortunately, he's kind of zoning out. Okay, yeah, you'll see what I mean here. Wait, he didn't spawn any? What? I was like, okay, look, this is an opportunity to show what I'm talking about. Never mind, I guess. He just wasn't feeling it today. I mean, you know, I relate to that. Sometimes you're just not about it. That's fine. Okay, is he gonna spawn him this time? Yep. So as you can see, they do not care that I'm invisible. They're gonna chase me. I can just kind of run around to try and stall them out, but they do not respect the stealth RP, if you will. They do not respect the stealth RP, and I do not fuck with that. Oh, I'm getting bombed. This is actually why I have on Prime Sure-Footed, is that if the boss starts launching pyrotechnics and you don't immediately activate, like, Protective Sling, you're just fucking dead. So it's like, yeah, I really need to make sure this does not, you know, kill me, because that would suck. When I was originally getting all my Accolade glyphs, Cyte took me the longest. I think that it was like Excalibur second, and then I got most of the others, I think, on my first or second try. I streamed a few of them. I'd have to watch it back and see, but man, I got filtered hard on Cyte. Yep. Okay, you know what? Honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave the jungle juice alone. Like, I'm defying my own advice, and this might result in my death, but everything is so fucked right now that I really just need to kill the boss. Like, there's too much going on. I'm gonna have to continuously, like, spam invulnerability, because we're just at that point of the fight. So it's like, you know what? No. Fuck the airport jungle news. Alright, would you look at that? I'm surprised this was my first try while recording. I died multiple times. I died multiple times while putting this together. Sorry, I've been recording this shit, oh, for the last, fuck, a long time. I've been working on this for a while. So my voice is pretty shot at this point. But yeah, we can have our leisurely little stroll here. Very exciting, I know. This is the last time that you guys have to see this, at least. And honestly, thank fuck it's the last time I have to fight this boss for this video. I have probably fought this stupid fucking tank like 50 times by now, and I'm just so sick of it. Now that we're at the end of this series, I need to level with you all. I am like the #1 defender of the super bosses. Generally, I love them, and I think they're some of the game's like best actually difficult content. I do not vibe with this boss. I understand what they were going for in terms of the, like, you have to kill the boss quickly or you get overwhelmed kind of thing, but it feels like they built the boss to be cheesed in comparison to the others. Like, with the Fragmented One, Vor, and the Guilty, you're really rewarded for engaging with the boss's mechanics, but with the tank, if you want to try and engage with the mechanics by, like, slowing down and destroying Mucus Spires, destroying Harbingers, stuff like that, I feel like you're kind of punished, because the #1 goal has to be speed, or you'll just get completely swarmed. So, unsolicited rant, but I've been fighting this boss so much that I'm just like, I'm at my limit, right? I'm up to here, as fellow white people might say. I've had it up to here with this fucking tank. So yeah, that's the successful run for Cyte. Let me know in the comments if you found it helpful, and that's the end of the series, so have a good one.